So Lilanya is doing her, and I hope I'm not butchering your name on that. I'm sorry if I am. But she's doing her environmental portraits. I think as I click through these, she got a nice moment here. Some actions happening. She's making contact with the person. You get a sense of what it is, the spray paint booth. So I think this one is really right dead on. So you might even have stepped back a step just to, include more of the environment. Because sometimes the environmental portrait's more about the environment than it is about the person. Now, this one, I love what you were talking about. He's juggling the spray paint cans, but the truth is, I actually didn't see that when I first looked at it. I didn't get that until I read it. How that one can is up in the air, it looks like the billboard behind it is they're together, they're part of each other. So I once again might step back a little bit further on this and maybe go for a little bit slightly different angle, more of a 3/4 angle rather than the side on. When I first looked at it, I'm like, what is he looking at? He looks so intense, and now I do see it. But let's play with what you got going on a little bit. So move around a little bit more with these shots. And then at the bottom, it's just some awkward cropping with the Subway cup. And I don't know what that is. That yellow pages down there? I'm not quite sure what that is. But step back and include more of that information. Where things sit on tables is important. Okay. And then I see travel P. So travel what? Travel photos, travel, I'm not sure what's going on back there. So just give yourself a little bit more space. Now this one, I like what you're talking about here too. You found a mural that matched this guy's shirt. I'm not quite sure what he's doing with his hand up in the air. I like how you have him posed, but I thought I went in and cropped this to this. And I think this is a lot more telling of what's going on. So you got the monster thing looking up at him. We can't see his face, but you get the colors from his shirt into this background, and I think that's a little bit more interesting than what you've got going on here as a photograph. But 100% you were thinking about all the right stuff. So now we're just fine tuning. So keep going. I love what you're doing. Keep working. And good job for overcoming being afraid of talking to people, hanging out, getting to know these people. That's a big thing. And sharing the images. If you tell someone you're going to share them, share the images, do it. And you know what? It only gets easier with time. The more you talk to people, the easier it gets. So keep going. Next up, we've got Sierra. Sarah was going for the wow beyond the postcard. And I think she's got some good stuff happening also. Let's look here. So we got this first shot. When I first looked at this, that bottom bird, I thought you had put it in. I thought it was a clip and paste sort of thing. And when I looked closer, I knew it wasn't. And you also stated in your write up that it wasn't in your captioning. You're doing a good job with your captioning. And one of the things you said about this one was you shot it from the open window of your car because you were afraid to get out of the car because you were by yourself. Were you afraid of the birds? That's what I was wondering. Were you afraid that of the location and just being kind of desolate? So be a little more specific on that. I hope you got over the fear and moved on. You caught a good shot here. So one thing to think about too is your composition. It's working in that they're kind of like flying out of the frame to the side, but the one big bird is pretty centered in the middle, so play with that a little bit if you had the chance. I love that you caught everything in action here, so that was really good. And you might play with your depth of field a little bit more. So a shot like this, I might like to see greater depth of field. So think f11, f16. If you can. It looks like you had enough light to do that and stop the action. And then boost up your shutter speed a tick to make those birds even crispier. And if you do that, then you'll have detail in the birds as well. But I love what you're looking at, and I think it's working. This one, it's a classic shot. You're right. Wow, where are we going? We're going up to Red Rock. And of course, you guys, as we're looking at this stuff, it's going to be more in focus if I open it up into Photoshop. I'm just looking at it through the bridge. You've got the nice leading line of the road heading up. Beautiful color, and it's looking good. Nice composition here. I really like this one. I like the dust kicking up. I like the sun hitting the side of the monument there. The colors working. So you got a nice thing here. Let me see something. I'm going to open this one. Command O to open it up into Photoshop, hopefully. Okay, so let me get out of that crop. Okay, the reason I wanted to open it was this right up here. That's a dust spot on your sensor. So your sensor needs to get cleaned, or you need to spot that out. And it's a quick and easy. I'm in Photoshop. Just grab my healing brush, come over here, make the brush bigger than that spot, set my point, and boom, and it's gone. And now it's a complete image. So take the time to do cleanup on your images. If you guys don't have that skill, um, give me a little note because there's ways to do that. You can do it in Snapseed, which you can do for free. And I asked that you let me know what software you're using, but no one did that. Um, so send me an email with what software you guys are using because I'll do little demos to show you how to do some of these tricks outside of Photoshop because I know everyone does not have Photoshop, but I need to know what you're using. So please, please, please send me an email, let me know. And then if I'm just being really picky, down here at the very bottom, this is another thing I touch up. Why? Because it catches my eye. And boom, it's gone, and now it's not a distraction. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but those little tiny details in the big picture matter. And I'm going to say, don't save. Let's go back. And then to end it up with this classic shot, you talked about how you love the glow of the red at the bottom, and I agree with you 100%. So I think you did a nice job with these. I think as far as the wow goes, the wow is the birds, and the wow is uh, the shot. And that's because you're catching something that we don't see, the atmospheric. This is a great shot, but this is the wow beyond the normal. So this is your classic. This is here. Look at this awesome thing. I definitely have it part of it, but this is more of a wow to me. This is a classic, beautiful shot. This is a wow, you caught these birds. Okay, so you're looking for those things that take it out of what everyone else is doing. So depth of field, think about your edges. Let me know what software you're using. Keep going. So John did cuisine. I've asked you guys a few questions. Two of you have given me the answers as to what is travel photography for you? What do you want out of it? And John just wants to have memories for when he's old, which made me laugh, of his family travels and places he's been. And that's a great goal. And I suggested that he create a travel journal. And I sent him an image of a journal that I've been using or that I'm going to start using. So he went out to his favorite Mexican restaurant. It's a birthday celebration. You get a sense of that here, so that's very, very good. So my standout shots are this one of the close-up of the meat and all the yumminess. This one is, a classic. What did we do? We had that fantastic margarita to go with it. Here's the birthday surprise. Here's the event, the birthday, and then here's the person and the birthday together. What I would do for this is I'd step back a notch so I can get more of that food in the image, but it's a great moment. She's, totally happy. You get a sense of the joy, and that's a good thing on here. So little things when I'm shooting, I would move that. I don't like that shadow in there. I'd move this, focusing on what you've got going here, the picture of margaritas and the menu. This, great, it's a nice close-up showing what you're about to eat. I like the inclusion of the hand in there. Like I said, this is my favorite of the group. Next up, this is working pretty nicely as well. A lot of times, I just clean up the table a little bit more. Like this piece back here, I'd move that out of the shot. We got that shadow coming in. This is really the star. This is the star. So if you can get rid of the background, get rid of it a little bit, or edit it out a little bit, darken things down. Nice, I'd move the silverware, or I'd include the silverware because it's a dessert for all. So let's show that off a little bit more. Emphasize that, or get rid of it. Nice moment, move those glasses, which would be the drinkware, at least the one dead in the center. And the happy shot. So still, once again, just give me a little bit more space there. And nice. I darken up that background or blur it down a little bit, and that's stuff that you can do in Photoshop or Snapseed or lots of different places. So, yum. It was a good outing, a good memory, and it fits into your travel memories. So now we've got Chris. Chris has some absolutely spectacular light here. Blue hour, golden hour. These are great examples. Let's take a bigger look. So, Chris is a pilot, and he wrote in his little bio, or not bio, his caption for this that it's, great to be looking out over the ocean, flying back from Japan. So, Chris has the opportunity to show us things that we don't normally get to see. And I love that about his images. So he takes advantage of making images whenever he can. So we get the cockpit, we get this beautiful light, and absolutely incredible. Um, we see splotches on the window of the plane. Do you clean that up? Well, depending on what you're doing. If it's an environmental kind of this is where I'm at, maybe we don't clean it up to show that. If we're looking for the 100% beauty, maybe we do clean that up. Okay, this is 100% beauty. This fits into a wow as well because of that light. Absolutely incredible. Chris mentioned that this is one of the photographer's favorite spots to make images in Snowmass, Colorado, I think is where it was. Summer storm, absolutely incredible light. I mean, just the intensity, the color, the beauty, just sucks you in. So this right here is cracking me up. It looks like a little smiley face up there. Looking out from up high, in a hotel room, I'm guessing, or a restaurant down onto the field, the baseball stadium, and some beautiful light happening here. Notice that when it's not pitch black out, you start to have shadow detail popping up in these buildings, and that's really nice. So that's one of the reasons why we want to look for this blue hour, golden hour to make our images heading into night. We've got the illumination of the lights popping on through the city, yet we still have enough light that it gives shadow detail so everything doesn't become black. And then to this image where everything did become black. But it's dramatic, it's striking. You get a sense of a little bit of light reflecting on that roof in the lower part. Otherwise, you'd crop that out. But that's really important here. And it's a striking image. So it just sucks you right in. So nice job, Chris. Keep going. You're looking at all the right things. Chris told me that he is taking this class to not be lazy, to get himself out shooting. I don't think Chris is lazy. I've seen him shooting when he's in class and when he's not out of class through Facebook and Instagram. So keep going. Okay, so Joanne's, wow, she went to the Getty Villa. And let's take a look here. Wow, beyond the postcard. That's pretty nice. Pretty good wow. Nice day, nice detail. You get a sense of where you are. You've got the people in the background, so you're showing that this is an active place. It's not a place where no one visits. So that's looking pretty nice. You've got the lights coming on, so it must be getting later in the day. The tone of the image is a little less poppy than sometimes. And that's just, something to take note of. Did you have an opportunity to be here a little bit later when the sun started to set and the lights started to change to play that up even more? Showing off the beauty of the ceiling, you've got the wide angle. So with the wide angle, you're getting a little distortion up at the top. That's okay. And here, that answered my question, didn't it? So nice shot looking from that balcony, which was here, I'm guessing, down to here. Very interesting. Great shot. This is the wow for me. This is that moment where the light is perfect, everything's illuminated, you get a sense of where you are, your balance is, perfect. I love the lines leading up to that water, the sculptures throughout. I haven't been to the Getty Villa, and I'm going to definitely go after seeing your photographs. So this is the keeper. This is the wow. Well, now we're looking at Lenani's work, and she was doing the blue hour, golden hour. And we can go with she struck gold on this golden hour. Okay, my humor's winning, yes. Okay, so check out this shot, you guys. What beautiful illumination on that flag. Those are the things we want to look for. This is perfection. It's beautiful. Gorgeous lighting. Nice framing of the boats looking out. It doesn't matter that that's not in focus in the background. I love how the light is reflecting on the sides of the boats. It's just creating this warmth. It's drawing us in. We want to be walking down here and experiencing this. And lastly, another beautiful balanced photograph. The light is gorgeous, the colors popping up in the background. Being on the boat, you get a sense, even a greater sense of place, things, the adventures we might want to experience. So, spectacular set here. Good job. Next up, we have Sydney, and Sydney's project was wow, beyond the postcard. And I think she did that. So let's start with the classic Vegas sign. Wow. I love that this is at night. I love all the action. The cars going by, the people coming and going, the portrait being made under the sign, and this, and then welcome to the show over on the side. That's spectacular. Um, we know our Harley friends all love to have Harley with Las Vegas tied together. So I think this one really does work as a wow. As a matter of fact, let's open it up into Photoshop real quick. Look at how much crispier that is. Um, that really does turn into a wow. Very nice job on this, Sydney. Let's grab the next one, Command O. I'm just going to open these. They're looking a little bit sharper. Some nice movement of light in the foreground, the mantis, the glowing orb behind it, catching the entire word container park. We know where it is. We see a little bit of the people there, so that's looking good. She was wishing for the mantis to be shooting off some fire. Well, let's go get that next time. It is hard to catch sometimes, but you're doing a long exposure, so if it's popping off the fire, you should be able to catch it. And then one more. And she talked about Old Vegas here, capturing Old Vegas. Well, this is Fremont East. Yes, technically Old Vegas, but filled with all sorts of new stuff, as she pointed out. And once again, the lights, the movement, the action, it's really coming through here. So I think all three of these definitely are a wow. The first one, that's the big wow. That's the classic shot. And I'm just thinking you're doing a good job. So keep it up. Wow. Wow.